If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be eagerly aware of this vortex of creation. But we would not freak out when we're having a step one moment. When you're having a step one moment, understand your relationship to the vortex. Say to yourself, I'm ornery as I can be as I'm having this step one moment, but the good news is I'm putting things in the vortex. In other words, at least be aware that that's what you're doing. And then say, and I know, the happy old vortex is over there just spinning around, gathering all the cooperative components, but for now I intend to just complain. Because in my complaining, I'm adding more to the vortex. That's my justification. And we say, yes, you are. And we do want you to be easy when you're not in the vortex, but we want you to be in the vortex. And you don't need to worry. There is enough contrast that surrounds you that you'll have plenty of step one opportunities. Let your dominant intent be to be in the vicinity of the vortex. Let this loving, God-force vortex bring you in. Let yourself be all that you have become. That's what will happen when you have your, what you call your death experience. We call it croaking. We try to be as disrespectful as we can of death, since there isn't any. You're always alive, sometimes physically focused. And as you came into this physical experience, it was your intention to let the contrast inspire the expansion. But do you know what the most exhilarating thing that you were looking forward to in this expression of physical life? Do you know what you were really wanting? Do you know the reason that you keep coming forth into the physical experience? Because there is nothing more delicious than to have expanded and held yourself apart from it for a little bit and then release the resistance and let yourself go. That's the river of life that you want to live. You want to continually be in this place where you're reaching and allowing and reaching and allowing and reaching and allowing. And you don't need to worry about it. It will ever be thus. We just think that when you know who you are, and you know about the vortex, and you know about the laws of the universe, and you know about your emotional guidance system, and you know you can direct your own thoughts, and you can practice by feeling the thought that doesn't feel good, and then feeling the thought that feels better, and then feeling the thought that feels better still. When you become aware of the laws of the universe and your place in it, it's like having your hands in the most creative of clay. And then life is so good, just like you knew it would be. So if you can accept that, yes, while you're standing here in this physical body, you are what you are, but you are so much more, and you are so close to allowing everything that's in this vortex to become. And that's what this gathering is about. We call it a law of attraction based seminar because the law of attraction is what is assembling the cooperative components. But in this art of allowing understanding, we want you to ask yourself the question and hopefully find the answer here today. Are you one of the cooperative components? Are you letting yourself be one of the cooperative components to what you have asked for? Or are you over here beating the drum of why you ask for it? Life causes you to ask for more money. Ask for money. There's a lot of that going on. Asking for more, asking for more, asking for more, asking for more. Becoming. Your vortex of creation is spinning. And all cooperative components have already been assembled. That's why we can say to you, it's done. It's done. It's already done vibrationally. Are you a cooperative component? No, I'd rather complain about not having enough money. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. I have never had enough. I can't remember having enough money. I don't like not having enough money. I hardly know anybody who has enough money. Rich bugger over there, he's got enough money, but he probably deals drugs. So as you are beating the drum of the same unpleasant thing which caused you to ask, now you're using that same unpleasant thing, that contrasting thing which caused you to expand and caused the universe to open, which caused the vortex to spin, which causes the assemblance of all things necessary to give you everything that you ask for, right down to the last detail. Are you going? No, I'd rather complain. And that's really what this gathering is about. We want you, by the time you leave here today, to understand your relationship with your vortex. We want you to understand your relationship with who you really are. And when you care about how you feel, then you're able to understand your relationship with your own vortex of creation. The vortex is bringing in all cooperative components. But if you're over there beating the drum of a different vibration, then you're not a cooperative component, and you can't be someone who comes into vibrational alignment with your own creation. You're a holdout of your own creation. And what's so interesting about that is that if life hadn't caused you to create it, you wouldn't even notice through negative emotion that you're not there. In other words, if you hadn't expanded, not going wouldn't feel uncomfortable. So when you feel negative emotion, it always means two things. First, you've created one whopping, swirling vortex, and you're not going. Oh, you're going. You're just going to wait till you croak, maybe, to go. We don't think you should have to croak to get in the vortex. We think that you should be able to release enough resistance by focusing upon enough good feeling things, by giving yourself and others the benefit of the doubt, by giving yourself a break, by looking for reasons to praise and reasons to appreciate rather than reasons to criticize and reasons to poke and probe. When you release or relax your resistance, the vortex will bring you in, and then your heart will soar, your mind will clear, your path of creation will unfold, and then you will be living the life you intended when you came forth into this physical body. That's what you came for. So do you get it? Can you feel this assembling of cooperative components? Can you feel the doneness of what you've asked for? Do you know your veritable fortune, the bodily conditions that you seek, your lovers, all things that you're asking for have already been gathered and are lined up, waiting for you to enter the vortex where you have visual awareness, sensual awareness of them. You can't set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. You got to be in the vortex in order to see the combining and cooperative components. Do you understand? So if you are in despair or fear, even though what you want has gathered, you're so far from it you can't see it. That's why you don't believe it. You don't see any evidence of it. If you're angry, you're still not seeing it. Probably wanting it more, but still not seeing it. When you're in frustration or overwhelmment, you're not in the vortex. You're not allowing yourself full vision or manifestation. You're not allowing it to unfold into your experience. When you get into hope, now you're in the vicinity. When you are feeling hopeful about something, even though you haven't seen it, that means you've released enough resistance. And in the releasing of resistance, you are cooperating enough vibrationally that the vortex can bring you in. You see how it works? When life causes you to ask, not only is it given, it literally becomes. So our physical friends say, well, oh yeah, then where's my stuff? Because I've been asking and I don't see it. And we say, it has been given and it exists in this non-physical vibrational reality. In a vibrational reality, and you say, big deal. Vibrational reality. Sounds sweet, but where's my stuff? And we say, you have to understand that everything that exists that you see in this physical time-space reality, all this knock-on-wood stuff, all this flesh, blood, bone stuff, all this stuff that you know as your reality was vibrational reality first. First it is thought, then it takes form, you see. And so this vibrational reality, which holds who you really are and everything you want, but more importantly and perfectly said, everything that you've become, this vibrational reality is a reality worth understanding, worth talking about, worth recognizing, and worth attempting resonance with. That means when life caused you to become more, the question is, are you keeping up? Are you going? Are you letting yourself be the more that life caused you to be? And if you are, you feel wonderful. That's what joy, that's what appreciation, that's what love, that's what being tuned in, tapped in, turned on is. That's that frisky, passionate, in love with life, in love with you, in love with things, in love feeling is. But if you feel negative emotion, if you're ornery, if you're irritated about something, if you're fearful, if you're angry, if you're hateful, if you're depressed, if you're on that end of the emotional scale that doesn't feel good, then you are by virtue of the thought you're thinking right now, pinching yourself off from the resonance. In other words, there's a gap between you and you. But there's something even more that we want you to understand, because we know many of you have been listening to us for a while, and you get this emotional scale. You know that on one end of it you feel wonderful, and on the other end of it you don't feel good. And you have a sense of the emotional guidance that that's all about. But we want to lay out for you here today, in terms that you just cannot miss, that the reason that you ever feel negative emotion is because you, in your physical body, have caused an expansion of the total you. And now you, in your physical body, aren't keeping up. So if it were not for your life which caused you to expand, your not going wouldn't be a problem. So you get the idea that we want you to release your resistance so that the vortex can take you in. But what happens if the vortex spits you out? Is it a problem? No. Because you came forth into this physical experience understanding that the creative process is 3 steps. Step 1, ask. And you need contrast to do that. If you don't have a variety to choose from, you have no way of asking. So step 1 is important. And step 1 happens in the majority of cases when you are outside of the vortex. You know what you don't want, you ask for what you do want. Step 2 is not your job. That's the job of source. That's the job of your inner being. That's the job of law of attraction. That's the job of the vortex. Step 2 is when you ask, it is given every single time. And it's not just given. The vortex and the source within you becomes the equivalent of all that you've been asking for. So step 2 is not your work. And step 1, you don't have to work at, because the contrast just causes you to ask. Step 3 is your work. And what is step 3? Step 3 is to be conscious and aware of the way you feel, reaching for the best feeling thought you can find from wherever you are, so that you will allow the vortex to take you in. Allow your entry into the vortex. If someone called you on the telephone and said, "Hello, you don't know me. I'm just calling to tell you I will never call you again," you would say, "All righty then." But if someone you really care about were to tell you that, that contrasting experience would cause you to launch a powerful rocket of desire. And because you've expanded in a new place, now the evidence that you're looking at is so far from the expansion that you've taken, you would feel the vibrational discord. There would not be the resonance or harmony. There would not be the alignment that you are really reaching for. So you've come forth explicitly to explore contrast. And some say, "Abraham, I don't really get this. If I was pure positive energy with no resistance before I came into this body, tell me again, why did I come forth into this body? I wanted contrast. Is that what you're saying, you crazy non-physical ghost? Is that what you're saying? I wanted this contrast." And we say, "Oh, you did. You wanted the contrast because you wanted the expansion. But you did not plan on hanging around in separation from the expansion. You said, I'll go forth, I'll explore contrast. The contrast will inspire my new desire. And when the new desire is inspired, I will turn my undivided attention toward it." But sometimes what happens is, you've had the experience when some dear person in your life just bugs the life out of you. Just harasses you and harasses you and harasses you into expansion, 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 expansion. There are people who are responsible for the majority of your expansion, in fact. So here you are, this expanded being, soaring with all of this new becoming, but you in your physical form are focused upon this person who's irritating you. So it's so interesting that the person who caused you such expansion, you are now using as your excuse not to expand. That's why you're extra, extra mad at them, you see. Because they're hooked in with you. You're tied together as this collaboratively co-creative partnership. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. It is delicious to come together with those like you who are coming more and more, moment by moment, really, to know who you are. Today, we feel satisfaction for these reasons. We have felt your willingness to focus for inordinate amounts of time, for the sheer purpose of understanding this vortex of creation that we've been talking about. It has been slow going here today. There was not much about it that was really fast moving. But in the process of that, what has been activated within each of you is